Where are we going? Prague. Where's Prague?
En el destino de este tren.
Thanks, Republic.
Prague is truly the Golden City, as it had been known during the reign of Charles IV, a modern capital with an ancient past. From the astronomical clock, the Jewish quarter, the Gothic Charles Bridge, and the Church of St. Nicholas, we are all thankful that somehow the beautiful city has retained its history.
So it is our first day in Prague, and obviously we cannot start the day without having some yumptious, scrumptious breakfast. Now we are in Old Town Square. Its history dates back to the 10th century when this square served as a marketplace. There are so many things to do here, from admiring the different architectures or watching a medieval mechanical astronomical clock. Hopefully you'll stay to watch the spectacle that happens every time the clock reaches the hour.
Things to see in the Old Town Square include the Church of Our Lady Before Tin, the house where the world-renowned Franz Kafka was born, the Kingski Palace, the house at the Minute, the house at the Black Madonna, which is a cubist structure, and so many more.
So actually, from Old Town Square, we take a 45-minute walk to reach the Old Prague Castle.
Now, if you don't want to walk, you can take the 22 tram up to the castle. I recommend the walk to fully take in the city. The architecture all around is mesmerizing, as it is a mix of Romanesque, Gothic, Baroque, and Rococo influences.
Right now we're crossing the bridge, Charles Bridge.
So it is a stone Gothic bridge that connects Old Town to Strana. The legend goes that egg yolks were mixed into the mortar to strengthen the construction of the bridge. The most popular statue is that of a Czech martyr who was thrown off the bridge during the reign of Wenceslaus IV. People touch it for good luck. Why this would bring good luck is a mystery to me. On the side of Old Town, we're going to head up into the tower.
Right now I'm on top of the Charles Bridge, the Charles Bridge Fort, I think that's the name. And the entrance costs $10, but I'm going to take you to one of those hidden spots. Underneath this giant tower, there's a little museum that no one ever seems to go to, so let's go. It's supposed to be one of the hidden gems that everyone seems to forget to come to, filled with things that people will not think about asking about. So right now we are in the Castle of Prague, the biggest castle in Europe. Scratch that, the biggest castle in the world.
The castle grounds occupy an area of almost 70,000 square meters. The castle buildings represent virtually every architectural style of the last millennium. The construction of the building started in the 9th century under the Bohemians. The period of rule under the king and later Emperor Charles IV was a time of prosperity in the Prague castle. For then it became the imperial residence of the seat of the ruler of the Holy Roman Empire. It currently houses the official residence of the Czech Republic president, and the executive administrative offices also operating there. It truly is the embodiment of historical tradition of the Czech state, linking the past with the present.
I'm a really big history geek, so I'm going to give you a fun side note, is that if you go into the Royal Palace, you can see the room where the 30 Years' War started. So basically, Ferdinand II, the Holy Roman Emperor, decided he wanted to make his whole empire Catholic. The Protestants in the region were obviously mad, so in retaliation, they took the 2 Catholic representatives and flew them out the window. Somehow the Catholic representatives survived the fall, claiming it was divine miracle, when in reality they were just pushing a pile of manure, a poop pile. And basically, in all truths, that is how the 30 Years' War one of the bloodiest religious wars in all of history began.
Now, after visiting the castle, let's head out to the back entrance through the municipal building.
There's a lot of busyness in the castle, but in the little town surrounding it, it's pretty empty. Don't forget to go to Novi Sad, which is a little hidden gem street near the castle. If there's time left over in the day, I would recommend staying in Strana to either look at the puppets on the street near Radova, visit the Kafka Museum, or eat some fresh gingerbread cookies. Look at the statue of two men urinating on what seems to be a map of the Czech Republic, take in the views of the park below the bridge. And don't forget to visit the narrowest street in the world. Right at the corner from the Charles Bridge in Littletown, you'll find the Lenin Wall. When this place was still under communist rule, after Lenin's death, this wall became very famous because people would come and they would play one of their lyrics on, which is All You Need Is Love. Every night, the communist police would come and they'd wash over it, and every morning the lyrics would appear again, until the fall of the Soviet Union in 1989. Finished the day, we settled by the park near the bridge to watch a swarm of swans just go about their business. Now going to the Church of Saint Mary the Victorious. Now, this would be an up and down regular church if it didn't have Il Divino Niño, or the Infant of Prague, a statue that belonged to Saint Teresa, been blessed by the Pope as a holy place to go pray. Right now on my way to go to the Museum of Alchemy to learn a little bit about the alchemist of this region. So call me Edward Elric. The museum is called Speculum Alchemy. It is situated in one of the oldest houses in Prague. There's secret alchemical laboratories underground from the 16th century that were built for King Rudolph II. The tunnels are original, but the decorations are not. The tunnels and rooms are very well preserved because they weren't discovered until the flood of 2002. The alchemist at the time would prepare elixirs here with intentions of finding the elixir of youth. The museum is not for everyone, but I found it extremely enchanting. Next, onto the Jewish quarter, also known as Joseph. According to some historians, in the year 1096, it was when Jews settled in the region near the Prague castle. Sadly, it was also the first date of the First Crusade, and Jews were systematically killed by crusaders. Fast forward a millennia to the 19th century. Jews participated in revolutionary activities and finally allowed the walls of the ghetto to be torn down and settle anywhere in the capital. At the outbreak of World War II, over 92,000 Jews lived in Prague, almost 20% of the city's population. At least 2/3 of the Jewish population of Prague perished in the Holocaust. It's important to visit the quarter not only to learn about the significant role it had in Czech's history, but also to experience the undeniable beauty. And at my mother's request, after visiting the Jewish quarter, we're going to go back to Old Town to watch a organ concert that happens in honestly almost any cathedral around 6 p.m. So these 2 days are filled with the activities and sites that I believe are the most important in Prague. So I stuffed a lot into 2 days. If you want to take a breath, I recommend spreading these activities across 3 days, if not more. If you stay longer, you'll be able to fully experience the city more, or visit hidden gems of Prague, which is another video that I will put in the link in the description below. So if you have more time, I would recommend everything. Prague is gorgeous. Stay as long as you can. There are so many things to visit and to see in Prague, so if you have more time, I would recommend, for example, trying Trelinka. I don't know if I said that right. And they're not really from the city, but they're pretty popular with tourists. Eating candy, street sausages, maybe even visiting the Museum of Alfonso Mucha. Take a boat ride by the river and take in the views. Watch a ballet show in front of the municipal building. Watch the sun set across the Charles Bridge. Prague has so much history, so much beauty, that honestly, if you can, stay as long as you can. I hope you liked this video, so give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't, just don't.